There we go.
There we go. And you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because I have to push the button that comes up. It says got it. And I have to push it or I won't see you.
Oh, so does everybody get that message when we hear that? Does that
I
go
don't know.
out to everybody, I wonder?
I don't know.
I
do.
if Emma and Emmett had to hit a button. Because I'm usually the one sending it. So I've never been on the receiving end. I do. So Emmett said that he does.
Yeah.
Ah, and Kate's letting me know it's so people can leave if they're not comfortable being recorded. Ah, it's like a consent thing. Yay!
Oh, there we go.
An informed consent. Yay.
Yes, you were practicing that and didn't even know it.
More learning for Margaret today.
Yeah.
Every
Now
day.
I'm having a hot flash.
Uh-oh.
My face is turning right red.
It's becoming a little flush, yeah.
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 Oh well.
It's okay.
If I start to slither down the chair, you'll know.
I'll come out.
Melted.
We'll press pause for a minute.
Yes.
And I'll come out.
Dump some water on me.
Okay. Okay. So here we are. We're running a couple of minutes late today, but that's all good. We're here to do another MAAT session. And today is January 19th, 2022. Got that right? I got that.
Yes.
Yes. And I am Margaret Major, and I am a registered counseling therapist here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. I am joined with Vida Woodworth, who is co-host and chairperson on our board of directors. And Kate Matthews is with us. She's behind the scenes, and she's kind of has the control. She can shut it down. She can let people in, or she's our technical director. And we are joined with Emma Palumbo, who is has many talents. Counseling intern here at ATEN right now, and plays bass, is working on an album, and we're going to have a chat with Emma about music in her world and what that means to her. And I know I'm going to learn lots. And we're also going to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, because this is something that I've had a couple of clients in the past couple of weeks kind of bring it up. New experiences they're in, and just struggling with it, adjusting to that new position or role that they're in. So we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But first, as always, our diversity welcome, and then we'll do a check-in, because I think you've got a couple of things that you like Sunday, and what happened Sunday for you. That
yes,
is a good thing to share.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do our welcome, and then we'll do our check-in. Okay. Okay. So first, we would like to welcome all women, men, transgender, and other identified individuals here today. Welcome. We welcome everyone here who is a mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, son, daughter, grandmother, or grandfather. Welcome. We welcome people of all races, tribes, and descents. We welcome your bodies, your minds, and your energy. We welcome survivors and those who support them. We welcome all people single, married, partnered, dating, celibate, or involved in whatever sort of relationship is right for you. We welcome gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, asexual, two-spirited, and others for whom none of the current labels fit. We welcome your emotions, your joy, your sadness, frustration, contentment, bliss, all your emotions. We welcome everyone's special way of understanding and knowing the world, everyone's wisdom, whether it is education that has been learned in schools, colleges, and universities, and/or the deep and profound school of life. We welcome those living with chronic medical conditions or disabilities, invisible and visible. We welcome mystics, seekers, and believers of all kinds. We welcome people who identify as activists, community leaders, group members, musicians, artists, and those who don't. And finally, we'd like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we are now. Welcome the spirits of Mi'kmaq, the natives who lived in this area before the Europeans came. We'd like to acknowledge them and invite their spirits to this space. Everyone, welcome. And thank you for being here, for watching this video. And we also extend our thanks and gratitude to the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia. I almost mixed that up, got it backwards. But the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia, without their financial support for the project MAAT, we might not be doing this program before you this evening. So thank you to them. And again, thank you for being here. Okay, there. Now, looking on my agenda, because if I don't write it on a sticky Vida, it doesn't.
It's
done.
It's not going to happen.
And I gotta scratch my foot.
Oh, I'm wobbling my
There's-
table.
There's just no smooth way to do that. If your foot's itchy, you gotta scratch your foot.
Yes.
Okay. So how are you doing on this -10 for evening?
I am doing fine.
Okay, good.
I just shared that I spent most of today washing clothes and cleaning my room after the Christmas rush, and everything kind of got piled in my room, all the empty bags and the extra gifts and things that you know when people come to visit, you kind of want to put away so nobody can see it. So
Yeah.
it was in my room.
Okay.
And yeah, I did some tidying and cleaning and organizing, and my room looks twice as big as it did when I started today.
Wow.
So it'll be a new sleep environment for me. And I probably will sleep better because of it, because they say if you have a cluttered sleeping area that it can make it difficult to sleep. So I'm looking forward to a better sleep, because I tend to be a bit of an insomniac. I am not a good sleeper, and so I hope this will help. And
Yes, I wish that for you too.
yeah, and so that was a big thing. And I also share, well, you knew because I was at your house on Sunday. I had my first guitar lesson with my guitar, and I really enjoyed it. And I was taking it with 2 other people, and Daryl was our instructor. And I actually understood sort of the finger placement for the chords, but also strumming was always a mystery to me. And Daryl took the time to sort of explain a little bit about strumming. And yeah, a couple of things that I always wondered. I didn't know, when you see the numbers on the diagrams for the chords, I didn't know which finger corresponded to which number, and now I do, which makes a big difference. And then I also shared on Monday night, when I was home, I was planning to practice, and my mother wanted to kind of hear my guitar, because she had never heard it before. It's an electric guitar with an amp. And she also wanted to hear the 3 chords that I had learned from Sunday, and I was going to practice. And so I got everything all out and got it all set up and plugged in, and got myself perched on the edge of our couch. And kind of had my knee, my right knee or leg, foot tucked in under a little bit to sort of hold the guitar properly. And just as I was ready to sort of do the C chord, I had my hand up to strum, and my foot slipped on the floor and went under the couch, and my hand came down really hard and I broke the string. So that was the end of my performance. And
You rocked out too hard, Vida.
I did. I really rocked out, and here I am lying on my shoulder, like with my knee and my shoulder on the floor,
Oh, Vida.
trying to hold the guitar up so I don't break it. But I did manage to break a string, the last string, the bottom string,
Yeah.
and it's the thinnest time, like the one that's easiest to break. And so now I need to have a lesson on how to put a string on my guitar.
Yeah.
And Daryl had very kindly tuned it for me on Sunday, and I'll probably need to learn how to do some tuning as well, because it won't stay tuned
No.
all the time, especially if I continue to fall. Anyway, I'm hoping I can get my string fixed and get back to practicing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm trying to go in with a positive attitude and not think, oh, I can't do this. I'm thinking I can learn to do this. So
You absolutely can learn to
Yeah.
do this, and you did an amazing job with your first guitar lesson. You
Yes.
picked everything up really quick, and you were doing it, and you did a great job. And I know you were just so excited to rock out with your mom, and that's what caused
Yes.
the broken string.
Yeah, and I was waiting. She was going to get her harmonica out, but
Oh,
after the one strum, and it was over. So maybe next time she'll break out the harmonicas, and we'll have a
Yeah.
guitar
you
harmonica.
guys will get a good old jam going on.
Yeah, yes. And she's practicing for her appearance on our show, hopefully in February.
Yes.
And
yes.
she has managed to, I think, figure out a tune on that tiny, tiny harmonica that you gave her as a gift. So
Oh, I can't wait for your mom to come on.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting and fun to hear how important music has been for her.
Yeah.
And what she has to say about it. So
Yes.
anyway, that's my first guitar lesson and my first attempt at practicing. And so I'm waiting. I'm waiting very excitedly for my next lesson, and also I know it will include how to put a string on. So
Yeah.
I probably should have some spare strings just in case. And perhaps I'll ask Daryl for some assistance in acquiring some strings.
Yeah.
And that way I'll have spares when I need them. Yeah, so that
and
was.
I too have broken a string.
Yes.
Not playing though. From tuning.
Yes.
I did that once, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that could happen too. So yeah, I think I need to get, I think I did have one of those electronic tuners that, and I gave away, I had a mandolin, and I think it was in the mandolin case when I gave the mandolin away to someone. I think I accidentally gave away the tuner. So I need to get another tuner so that I can learn how to tune my guitar. And so hopefully I won't be breaking strings, but you never know. I may strum a little hard again and break another one.
That's right. That's right. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And I have to say, Vida, your guitar, you have a beautiful guitar. It's so,
yes.
There's just something so, I don't know, sleek keeps popping into my mind.
Yes, it's I look at it and I think, was it the Hollies that sang Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress?
Yeah.
That's what I think about when I look at my guitar.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
And you
it's
can
a
learn that song.
beautiful. I could, yes. And if nothing else, I think if I can kind of like sit there and look really good holding the guitar, I can add to the atmosphere of our band.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were trying to come up with names, and like two old gals, and then it was two old gals and two old guys, but they're younger than me. So, and so is Julie. So I don't know. We might be one old gal and two guys and another gal. We have to come up with a name for our band. So maybe we'll take suggestions.
Maybe. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
And maybe I could learn how to play with finger puppets. That might be, yeah. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to kibosh any idea that someone
No,
has, because
no.
you know that's how new things come into our world.
That's
Is
true.
people
Yeah.
think outside of the box.
Yeah.
So Vida, if you can make that work, please send me a message right away and let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would kind of be like playing like ventriloquism that I'm going to do as well.
Yes.
And as I said, it made it so much easier for me to be able to do ventriloquism because of COVID and the mask.
Right.
Because I asked Mom, can you see my lips moving? And she said, not at all. And that was the first time ever I had anybody say that. So maybe with the chords, and I have finger puppets, people won't be able to see whether I'm doing them wrong or not. You never know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself, Vida. You try that.
I can do a ventriloquism and play the guitar at the same time.
Okay, now.
Yeah. That's pushing it, I know. Yeah.
No, you go for your dream.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was that was my week. And yes, it's been very cold one day and then very warm the next. And a typical Nova Scotian winter, or well, I guess typical Nova Scotian any time of the year, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm hoping it'll get more stable. Either it'll stay cold or stay warm, because it's makes a lot of ice and a lot of slippery walking, and hopefully people are being careful and not falling. I mean, I fell off the couch, so I don't know how safe I'd be on the ice. Probably not very safe at all.
And there's a lot of it out there right now.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I think that's enough for 1 week for me.
Well, thank you for sharing all that, Vida.
Oh, well, thank you for asking.
I can't wait for you to come on the show with your guitar.
Yes, and especially if I get the G, D, and C down, because I can play song then. And if I can get it going, I will come on the show and let everybody experience my first song.
and witnesses to your learning and your growth. Yes.
So
I'm going to share a video before we start talking about imposter syndrome for a minute, and maybe we won't even talk a lot about that because it's already 25 after 6.
I know, and we have Emma who's going to come on and talk about
I know. So maybe we'll see what happens here. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're definitely, we may just do a little blip about imposter syndrome, and then we'll have a chat with Emma.
Yes.
I want to hear about her musical journey.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so let's So this is my niece, Layla, who turned 5 years old yesterday. And her dad, my brother, was able to get a video of her performing an original song that she wrote on the spot.
Oh,
So I'd love to share that with everybody.
yes.
It is sideways. So
We'll turn sideways to watch it.
it's so cute. Okay.
She's
now-
very talented.
Yes. Okay, now I need to make the screen big, right?
Yes.
Just give me a minute. He's out of the way. There.
Okay.
Start the music.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go! I said nothing and I stop it. If you like my song, then sing. If you like me, then I stop it. If you not want this stop. If you want this on the beat. If you like my music beat. If you like my music, that's stop your fun and then start. Father, superstar. You let me nice day on the Sophie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Sing along with me and show.
Yay.
We're all happy. Music is fun. Makes you happy in a long time.
Yes.
I like singing with Daddy and me. You like singing with me and you.
Yay. That's good, Layla.
We laugh and play yourself. You like my day? This is gonna be a fun day.
She's got the moves.
I know.
Let's sing along with me.
Yay.
Sing along with me and play. Sing along and play with me. Sing along and play with me. Lots of the things to do. What a thing to do today.
Yay.
What a thing to do today. I love your, I love mine. Music a lot and a nice day. Outside it's gonna be dark soon. Oh my God. I love my music to calm up. Sometimes I like singing along.
Yay.
Like summer, I like to fun in a nice day.
That's a beautiful song.
Bust don't like my nice day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing my own.
What a
Okay.
good song.
Now I need to get out of here. Let's turn that off. Pause. And stop. There. Okay.
Yeah.
I did that smoothly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw a little Janis Joplin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know her moves were so
Yeah.
she's feeling the music.
She is definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she did that song, I think it was a week ago.
Oh, wow.
Precious. Yeah, I can't wait to see her when she's like 6. And
Yeah.
see what song she comes up with.
She'll start, writing, I'm sure, for Drake and people like that.
Yes.
And maybe not, because she might just want to keep them all original to herself.
I know.
Yeah. A lot
Those
of
are
good
some of the best
songwriters.
ones.
Yeah, a lot of songwriters are really good singers, but they give their songs to other people. And look at Dolly Parton
Mhm.
and how many songs, that she's written, that other people have made famous.
Yeah.
And she sings them, but people don't always realize that she is the writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Dolly.
yeah,
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
an amazing musician and
yeah,
artist. Yeah.
yeah. And well, there's all kinds, Linda Perry and all kinds of people that write and others will record their songs. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's Dolly's
it's,
birthday today.
oh my goodness.
Oh, happy birthday, Dolly.
Yes. So
Aw.
close to Betty White.
Oh,
I know. We forgot to mention Betty. Her
yeah.
birthday was the 17th.
Yes.
And one of the best things I've seen, and many people say it, is how many people live to be 99 and pass away, and people say they died too soon.
Oh,
What a
I got goosebumps.
and almost everybody is like, she died too soon, like,
Yeah.
you know. And it's not very often, I don't think, that people would say that about someone that old. And because I think she still had a lot left to do.
Oh, she
So,
was quite a gal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so is Dolly. And
Yeah.
so is Layla. We'll be
Yes.
calling her Layla. It won't be Layla something, it'll be Layla.
Yes.
And she'll be famous.
Oh, she's already famous in March.
Yes.
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 She's, yeah, words can't describe.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so I'm wondering if maybe just for 4 or 5 minutes, we'll talk about, or I'll just say a little bit about imposter syndrome. Because I think it's something, Kate and I were having a little discussion about imposter syndrome last night. I should say what imposter syndrome is before I start talking. Okay, so imposter syndrome is the feeling like you're a fraud or you're an imposter in some area of your life or in your life. And at any moment, somebody could find out that you're a fraud and you're not who they actually think you are. So this could apply to our work, relationships, school, at home, like parenting, for example. That's something where as much as you prepare until you actually become a parent, you don't have the knowledge, the confidence, or the know-how to handle everything. And I've talked with some people who, as a parent, they have felt inadequate or like they can't. Everybody else handles it better than they do. Everybody else has the knowledge, and there's something wrong with them. Like I'm a
yeah.
and recently, like a conversation that I had with a client is they had a promotion at work. So they've had lots of jobs where they were unhappy, where it wasn't, they weren't able to use their knowledge and their experience and their skills in a way that they wanted to, and have been working very hard to find that job where all of them can be appreciated and used. And back in the fall, got a job where great work environment, diversity and inclusion practices and protocols and committees, and is able to use all the skills and knowledge, but yet has so much anxiety over feeling like I don't belong here. Everybody else around me knows more than me, or they don't feel this way, and I don't belong here. And that can have, like, the reason I wanted to, I guess, bring it up for a few minutes is because the stress, the anxiety, and the fear that can come from that kind of thinking can cause some people to miss opportunities in their life. And it can also feed into that those negative beliefs that a person can develop throughout their life or learn, and it can hold people back.
Mhm.
Some people, like musicians, for example, will work hard, practicing and practicing. And I remember years and years ago, a musician who was just starting to go out and play publicly and to share that music with people. They're like, will they believe me? And it's like, it's more, you feel like an imposter.
Mhm.
And I said to Vida yesterday, I talked with Emma about this. I talked with Kate about this sense of imposter syndrome that I've been dealing with for the past week in a new role that I'm in my world. And it's it can get, well, for me, it got quite out of control and catastrophic. Like, I was just like, I'm no good at this. I'm gonna have to stop doing this work. Like, it was just got all out of control. And I like, this can affect relationships that people are in. If somebody is in a relationship and they're not capable of receiving love or attention or affection from somebody because they don't feel like they deserve it or they're not worthy of it, they may end a relationship before, like, when it didn't even, it might have been a good relationship, but because they put all that pressure on themselves of, well, I'm a fraud and they're going to find out and then they're just going to leave me anyway, so I might as well leave now. Like, that affects relationships.
Yeah.
And I remember years and years ago talking with a man who him and his partner had moved out, and they had ordered a washer and dryer unit, and the delivery people brought it to the house, and they didn't hook it up. And I remember talking with this man who was in tears, crying, because he felt so inadequate as a man because he didn't know how to hook up the washer and dryer. So there was like this sense of, well, because I'm a guy, I'm supposed to know these things. And I think sometimes people forget that there's learning curves that we need to do. And when a person takes on a new job, a new relationship, new responsibilities, all those areas in our life, there's the adjustment of it. And sometimes we're not going to feel, sorry, sometimes we're not going to feel like the musician or the artist or the
parent, the teacher.
Parent. Yes.
Yeah.
And that will come, and it will come with confidence. And I just thought that it would be, well, in my conversation with Kate thought that it's probably, imposter syndrome is probably something that most people have experienced at some point in their life. Like, whether they're aware that that's what they're going through or not, like just feeling insecure about your skills or your abilities, or discounting your accomplishments. Like, that sort of thing can indicate that maybe you're in an imposter syndrome or imposter phenomenon, as it's also called, kind of place in your world. And it's so just very quickly, be aware of your accomplishments and the compliments that people have given you over the years. Like, I've had people who have made like a journal where if they received a kind letter or a message from somebody, they'll print it out in their journal. And then at times where they're feeling insecure, inadequate, or just kind of having a low, they can pull that out. And it's kind of like the compliment bags that we made with our young girl group. I think everybody needs a compliment bag.
Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah. Another way to, I guess, an area to be careful in is the judgments and the comparisons that we do with ourselves against another person. Or, yeah, it's usually comparing ourselves with somebody else. Well, they know how to do everything, and I don't think it's just that kind of
Yeah.
negative thinking. But if we stopped judging and comparing ourselves to other people, we'd be far more gentle on ourselves in those moments of change and transition and learning curves and growth in our life. Talk to others if you're feeling like an imposter or like a fraud. Talk to someone in your life that you feel safe and you can trust, who isn't going to judge you or put you down or say that you're silly. Just and of course, talk to a therapist. I think everybody needs to talk to a therapist at some point in their life, but I am a bit biased with that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's all we'll say. That's all I'll say. I'm not sure if you want to add anything on that or not, Vida.
No, I just, I liken it in a way to, as I have gotten older, I hear myself saying, I wish I had known then what I know now. And when I was younger, I was a teacher in the beginning of my career. And I remember thinking at 20, I was able to teach and had my credentials, thinking if only people knew how little I know about what I'm doing,
Yes,
they wouldn't let me do it.
I get it.
And that's part of, yes, you can take training and learn to be a teacher or a therapist or a social worker or a guitar player or a cook or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's usually with practice and over time that we gain more skills, we gain confidence, and so we don't feel as much like that fraud or that pretend person. And so, but part of getting older and experience is to do all those things, to gain those things, to learn those things, to watch others doing the same things. And so you can't kind of do it all at once and start kind of at with all that wisdom in the beginning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things you just said a minute ago was to be patient with yourself and to know that, you're doing the best you can with what you have. And, there's probably lots of things you're doing well, and probably some things you'll need to work on, but that's just part of becoming wise or gaining experience, and not to put yourself down. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah.
Okay,
So
I think we'll move over
and
to Emma.
yes, Emma.
Okay. I wonder if Kate is going to introduce, put Emma's camera on. I think. Do. There's
Hi.
Emma.
I thought you were going to do Baby Shark.
Oh, no.
Do, do, do.
Hi, Emma. Thank you so much for taking time on your busy schedule to hang out with us. And we didn't mean to leave you hanging there for a little bit. Sometimes we get talking about something and the time just goes And then it's like, oh my, it's 6:45 already.
I've been enjoying the conversation, and I wrote down a few things
Oh,
that
please share.
I wrote down, you know, long cool woman in a black dress as the name of a
Ooh.
guitar. I think that's,
Ooh.
or the
Yes.
name of a band even.
Yeah.
And looking cool while playing music. That's important.
Yeah.
It's one of my goals
Yeah.
as a musician as well. Yeah. And yeah, a few other things too, but I was
Good.
mostly just grinning the whole time we watched the video of your niece. So
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Yes, thank you. So I just, I guess I'm just going to say a couple of things about you, Emma. Emma is a counseling intern here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network. Currently doing, is it Masters of Education or Counseling? Masters of Ed, okay.
Yeah.
At Acadia University in Wolfville. And Emma's actually doing 2 placements. Like, 1 placement is big enough, and Emma's doing 2. And it's like, that means you have to practice double the self-care.
Double imposter syndrome.
I bet it is. Yes. It probably would be, wouldn't it? Yes, we're so happy and honored to have you joining us to do your practicum here at ATEN. I know we're going to
Likewise.
have great groups, great conversations, and like I've said to you already, I've already learned so much from you, and I feel like you should be supervising me.
Not true.
But the learning is wonderful. I love
Yeah.
that we're gonna learn so much from each other in the next few months. Yes.
Yes. Same.
Okay. So, music. You play bass guitar, and was there another instrument that you play?
Well, currently I'm playing bass. I play bass in a band, and but growing up, the first instrument I learned to play on was piano, and then I learned the trumpet and then guitar, and now I'm on bass, and that's my favorite instrument to play. So I kind of stuck with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old were you, Emma, when you first started learning your first instrument?
I think I was about 7, or I was pretty, my parents kind of forced me and my brother to play piano. You know, now I love the piano, but when someone tells you to do it, you don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
So I learned pretty young, and the first songbook I learned how to play was the entire Sound of Music soundtrack, front to back.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
And I loved playing that.
Oh.
I was a big fan of the movie as a kid. So yeah, that was my first experience with actually playing music.
Wow. The Sound of Music. That's intense.
Yeah, it was it was fun though. It was
Yeah.
those songs are catchy too. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
still remember
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. Who, well, I guess you kind of answered this question. So I was going to ask if there was somebody who inspired you to want to learn, but you kind of said that you were kind of made to learn. You didn't necessarily have a choice at 7.
Well, I think, you know, no one in my family is a musician actually. And I think that, but music was a huge part of my life. Like my father had a huge record collection. Music was always playing in our house. He had a serious stereo system with giant speakers. And so it more came from that. My love for music was, you know, we put the records on, crank up the music, and me and my brother would just dance violently around and punch and kick the air. There was a lot of like Bohemian Rhapsody at
Oh.
Queen and lots of early Beatles stuff, and just,
Good.
yeah, we would just have a great time. So it was a household filled with music, but I wonder if because they weren't musicians, they thought, well, maybe maybe we can start this with the next generation.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's good for the brain too, learning. It's kind of like learning a language in a way. So,
Yeah.
starting young, it sticks with you.
Yeah. How old were you when you learned the trumpet?
I played the trumpet in band in elementary school. So I was about 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trumpet's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Trumpet's pretty cool.
It is cool. You need a lot of wind for that one, which
Yeah.
I don't really have anymore.
No, I certainly don't. No. I thought Vida looked like she had something she was going to say.
Oh, I
You
was
have-
just, when you said you need a lot of wind, my cousins grew up in Cape Breton. My mom is a Cape Bretoner, and I spent a lot of time in Cape Breton. And I had 4 cousins that were all girls, and they went to the Gaelic college, and they either
Oh.
learned how to do Highland dancing, drumming, or play the bagpipes. And my oldest, the cousin that's the same age as me, had asthma. And so when she began to learn how to play the pipes, you play what's called the chanter. And her sister had to, they figured out if you hooked up a skipping rope to the chanter, her sister could blow enough air in so that Ruthie could
Wow.
do the fingering on the chanter,
Oh,
because
my.
Ruthie didn't have enough lung capacity in the beginning to be able to blow the air herself.
Wow.
So I just had a vision when you said that of you with a trumpet and a skipping rope
Skipping
hooked up to it.
That's so creative.
it ever?
Wow.
Yes,
I
it
love that.
was.
Yeah.
And eventually my cousin Ruthie, the older one, was able to practice enough that she could play on her own. But in the beginning, that's how they made it happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right on.
and I was always upset with my parents because they wouldn't send me to the Gaelic college in the summer like my cousins.
Mm.
And I wanted to be able to play something. And I also had an uncle who played the fiddle. And I always wanted to play the fiddle too. But my problem was I just wanted to be able to pick it up and play it. I didn't really believe that I should have to practice. And that caused me a lot of problems. So yeah. But I love music too, but I was more, I had a record player and lots of records, and eventually cassette tapes and CDs, and now of course we have whatever it's called now.
What is it called? I'm not
The
even
form.
sure.
MP3 is the last format that I know, but I don't know what we use now. It's on my iPhone, whatever that is. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not big on technology. I'm so far behind.
No. Yeah.
So I think you're working on an album right now. Is that right?
Yes.
That's like so exciting. Like that's more-
I'm actually working on Josie, who was on the show
Yes.
maybe last December or November,
yes.
is
yes.
on the album as well. So
Wow.
she joined the band. We were looking for a 4th member, and she, I don't have to tell you how amazing and prolific Josie is. in all the ways, but musically as well. So she's in the band, she's playing violin and keys and piano.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, so
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
it's fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really fun. And yeah, it's almost done, so I'll let you know
Yay,
when we
yay.
release it.
Well, maybe we'll have your band on. We'll have the whole band on. Yeah.
Would be our first show.
Awesome.
We haven't played any shows, because of COVID and other reasons, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're all kind of itching to play live.
So how would you
Yeah.
describe the music that you play? Like, is it kind of like overlapping genres or kind of like,
I don't even know. I feel like pretentious every time I try to describe it. Like,
yeah,
it's like this, but it's not like this. And it is kind of doesn't really fit into a genre.
okay.
I guess kind of like, alternative it rock, but it has a lot of other elements like progressive rock, so like weird time signatures, some kind of spacey shoegazy things happening, a little bit of noise. There's the songs are all quite different. Some of them there's like yelling on, and it's just kind of whatever, it's a real mashup of four different people, so it's somehow it's cohesive. But
Yeah.
if we were to play on a bill with other bands, I'm not sure if we would really fit into like a metal show or a punk show, for instance.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so if I were to ask who you would ask to open for your band, would you be able to pick someone?
From today?
Like if you were gonna, for your first album, your first concert, and you were to have somebody open for your concert, who would it be?
Good question.
Man, that's a good question.
It is.
It's hard because I haven't also seen anyone play live, and I'm also originally from Toronto. So, back home, I actually lived in a music venue for a while. So I saw tons of bands, and I always thought, oh, I really want to play with that band. But a lot of them are not happening anymore. I think that I'd really love to play with some local musicians here, and I pretty much anyone who is passionate and about music, and it could be a solo fiddle player from Cape Breton.
Ashley McIsaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I'm just
also
imagining Billie Eilish when you talk about, because to me Billie Eilish is very different, her style of music, yet it's like, I don't know if I could say, and maybe there is a name for what her style is or her genre, but to me it's very different, and she definitely does her own thing. Like, she just kind of goes, so
yeah, she's great. We're fans in the band. When I used to work with youth, we ran a group called Toonie Tuesday, and we would get together and sing songs, and they always wanted to sing Billie Eilish songs, and I would always call her Billie Eyelash, just to kind of mess with them a little bit. But those were the only songs they ever wanted to sing. And it was when you break down a song and you actually start learning it, you realize how how wonderful the song, like how it's composed and what goes into that. It's often more complex than when you just kind of listen to it. So but I mean, Billie Eilish could open for us if she wanted.
Sure.
I don't think we're gonna get anyone famous. We don't have a lot of followers.
Well, you never know though. She might. You just have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
What is the name of your band?
The Normaler.
The
Normaler.
Normaler. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Normaler. Yeah.
Kind of just
Yeah.
a play on the word normal and
Yeah.
what we think of when we think of normal.
Yeah.
That doesn't really exist actually.
No.
So it's
No.
just a narrative that we create.
Yeah. And that could be a whole show in itself. That topic.
That's
Yes.
right. And
Yeah.
I know the show's coming to an end now, but I think
Sure.
because you mentioned imposter syndrome, and for me that was a big part of my musical journey as well. As I'm a gender fluid person, but as someone who socialized as a woman and present that way. And when I first started playing bass and I got into my first band, I felt that so heavy. And I didn't know how to play the bass. I just picked it up and I joined this band, and
Yeah.
in a very, very male dominated kind of scene.
Yeah.
So a lot of punk and hardcore, and it was scary. I thought, so the first show we played, I couldn't even look at the audience. I played the whole time with my back facing the audience.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still, even to this day, I still feel that way sometimes. And speaking of narratives, I think, just to add to your conversation, I do think, a lot of times there's these dominant stories that we learn about what certain people who do certain things, and and how power kind of ties into that. And I remember walking around with my bass, or I would bike with my bass to band practice, and people would yell at me in the street and go, "Is that your bass?" Of course it's I'm not lugging this giant instrument around on my bike for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think, there's a social element to it as well. And I really always like to look at things in that context too. And I find it empowering when, to kind of deconstruct those narratives and think, well, I'm actually, this is another story that I have. So,
Yeah.
so I still kind of grapple with that at times, but it's, something, it's a process.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
I know Margaret likes to ask a couple of questions towards the end that are kind of different questions, but I was gonna ask, you're doing your counseling, and I yesterday you and Margaret talked a lot about how your course that you're taking and she has taken, how emotional it is, and that quite a bit of time can be spent crying. I just wonder, has your connection to music helped you kind of deal with or do you use your music as a form of self-care, because you're doing some pretty heavy stuff in your schooling? Yeah.
Great question, Bob.
Yes. It's always been there. And so it's not something I've had to learn to incorporate into self-care, because I just naturally go to music when I need it. And or if I need to work through some emotions, music is often part of that. And it's also part of like the rituals I create around care. And how I share that with other people too. So this sense of, not being alone, and how we share these art forms with other people. That's for me, self-care isn't always just about the self. And
Mhm.
so, music is a good medium for expressing that collective care as well.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
it's, and it's like, I notice a difference when I wake up in the morning, I turn on the news and you're listening to news about COVID, and then you go to work, and as opposed to, what I think I'm going to put on, what did I listen to the other day? Nina Simone. I
Mhm.
put on Nina
Oh,
Simone album
Yeah.
in the morning, and I didn't listen to the news, and it changed the way the day
Yes.
played out for me. There was different chemical things happening
Oh,
in my
yeah.
brain. My body felt different. So just being attuned to that,
Yeah.
music, I think, really helps, and just a way, to express a form of
Yeah.
self-expression as well. So that's all kind of tied into self-care. And then the other way that it's tied in is through fun. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to be, "Oh, I'm writing this song, I'm going to finish the song." Just playing music to no end, just the process of creating and being creative, and seeing what happens. And I think that is also, it's one of the best ways to battle burnout is fun, I think.
Yeah.
And music is always part of that. Talk about getting together in a kitchen with a bunch of musicians and just
Mhm.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so I was going to ask a question about the therapeutic value of music, but you kind of asked that in your question. So thank you.
Oh, okay.
That kind of
Sorry.
works. That works.
There.
No,
Yeah.
no. I have possibly two other questions. So one would be, if you could only hear one more song in your life, you know what that song might be.
I'm so bad at this of recalling things, retrieving things from my brain on the spot, but I'm trying to think. Oh man, there's too many.
I know there's so
It's
many.
so difficult. I'm thinking like it would probably have to be a Beatles song.
Mhm.
Sorry, everybody. My dad raised me on the Beatles, and I know that that's a contentious thing. Not everyone loves the Beatles.
Oh, I love the Beatles.
And I listen to tons of different kinds of music, but it would have to probably be a Beatles song. From Abbey Road, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Can I just say that Abbey
Yeah.
Road?
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll work.
That's acceptable.
It's
Yeah.
And then the other.
I'm so like, I'm thinking of my punk days, and it's like if anyone heard me say
Uh-oh.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a punk
That-
phase I went through.
It's
I was particularly good at the dancing.
Oh yeah. Talk about
Yeah.
a release.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, because of COVID, those experiences aren't happening for people. Like, we're not able to come together in those social ways and share that together for the last 2.5, is it 3 years? 2 years.
Going on 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. After the 17th of March, 2022, it'll be starting the 3rd year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So my other question is, and hopefully you won't feel, oh, this is such a difficult decision. What is one of your favorite go-to comfort foods?
Oh, we're back on food. I think I'm gonna say lasagna.
Yum.
Yeah, it's the first thing I eat in the new year. Because my grandmother, my Italian grandmother, always used to make a giant lasagna
Oh.
for everybody on New
Oh.
Year's Day. So that's become my new, I can't really eat wheat or cheese anymore, which is like heartbreaking, but
Yes.
I will, I make exceptions for things like that. So that's gotta be, that's probably number one, I would say. And I make it from scratch too. I make the pasta, I roll it
Oh,
out.
do you?
Yeah. And I think that makes it
Gee.
even more satisfying. But yeah, I'm gonna say lasagna. It's just,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
now I want some lasagna. And I can almost taste your grandmother's lasagna. Like I can just picture this massive pan of lasagna and oh, the
So big.
cheese.
So big.
Yum.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'd say, yeah, that's comfort food. It's in more ways than one. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
brings me back to the important people in my life too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think we'll probably wrap up. I still need to do our little loving kindness meditation. But Emma, thank you so much for sharing, coming on and giving us your time. And
Thank you.
it's an honor to have you, and I look forward to having you back. Probably more
Yes.
than once. We're going to have you back. Yes.
Yeah.
So
You may have to play backup when I do my first song.
yeah. Oh
G-
yeah, I'll have to bring
G, D, and C. You can bring your bass to work and we'll practice.
Oh, I will definitely I'll bring it in.
Oh,
for
yes.
sure.
Yes, Emma, you need to bring your bass to work with you. That's just, there's a guitar right over there, and you bring your bass, and there's a
Alright.
little cajon in the group room. There's a shaker. There's all kinds. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Right, I will.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna do our loving kindness meditation, and then we'll conclude for today. Our time goes so quickly. It's
I
already
know.
12 minutes after 7.
It is.
Holy mackerel. Okay. Practice some self-care tonight. Okay. So for the next minute, or well, it'd probably be about 2 minutes. Just be comfortable, and if you're okay with closing your eyes, please do so. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, just find something to fix your stare on for the next couple of minutes. Just allow yourself to settle into this space. Hear the sounds in the room around you. Bringing your attention to this moment. Just allow your breathing to be natural. You don't need to control it in any way. Begin to notice any tension you might be holding in your body. Begin to feel any tension you may be holding. Begin to feel that start to drain away from you. Feel it drain away from your eyes, your face, through your neck, your shoulders, and down your arms. Feel any tension drain like a liquid down through your body and out through your toes. Now begin to fill your body fill up with love. Imagine a loving white light entering your feet and traveling up through your body, up to your stomach, to your chest, and your arms. Feel it almost bursting through your heart, your fingers, and through the crown of your head. When you feel embraced in that love, silently repeat the following words to yourself. May I be free from all harm. May I be safe and protected. May I be free from all suffering. May I be happy. May I be free from all disease and physical pain. May I be healthy and strong. And may I be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. Now turn your thoughts to this vast world, the huge earth with all its living creatures. Continue to feel that love bursting through your body as you silently say, may all beings be free from all harm. May they be safe and protected. May all beings be free from all suffering. May they be happy. May all beings be free from all disease and physical pain. May they be healthy and strong. And may all beings be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. Send your love as far out around the world as possible. And just imagine that energy traveling through the air. Continue to feel that love centered around your heart. Notice the weight of your feet on the floor. Feel yourself in this moment, in the now. When you are ready, you may slowly open your eyes. There. That pieces me out to do that.
Yes,
Helps me to piece out. Okay. Well, that went very, very quickly.
it did.
Very quickly. And I really enjoyed our conversation. And I can't wait to learn more and hear the album when it gets out. Maybe we'll have the band live on the show. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll say our goodbyes. We'll be back next week. Next week is Bell Let's Talk Day, so we'll probably
That's right.
have some conversation about that. Let's talk, because that's a great initiative. Okay, so please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.